Hey, Michael Sean Corby here with the second haircut in the cutting series for MSC TV. Thank you for all the nice comments on the modern shag last week. If you didn't see it, go check it out and leave your comments and questions. I'll be sure to answer them. Today we're going to move from the 70s and we're going to come right up till now. It's all about the curtain fringe. Why do your clients want a curtain fringe? Well, because they can wear it to the side, they can wear it forward, they can wear it any which way. So it's not like such a big commitment to the fringe. We're also going to incorporate that with some nice soft layers around the face and the fringe, and then we'll continue it through the back as well. Now, to keep this interesting, I went ahead, shampooed, and cut the 0 degree, just a nice strong 0 line all the way around, as you can see. To get that out of the way. Nothing angled too far forward or backward. We just want to keep that nice and square and nice and straight for the beginning. Then went ahead, blow dried with a comb, keeping it flat to the head. We call it a flat blow dry. And then touched up just minorly using our heat protecting spray, our heat styling spray. Any heat styling spray you have is going to work great. Just make sure it protects up to 450 degrees, or for those of you watching internationally, 234 to 232 degrees. So I'm going to dig right into this with the sectioning now that the length is cut. To begin, I'm just going to comb the hair in different directions so that I can start to get a feeling for where that natural line is going to fall. Combing it forward, and then from that hairline, I'm just going to go about half the distance of the comb, or about 3 inches, and I'm just going to first make a small triangle right off the center. And it doesn't have to be exact center. As a matter of fact, if there's a natural center that's happening, and that's part of the nice reason of doing that flat blow dry, then listen to that and really read the hair as you're working. So I'm just going to take that section out, combing it down. You can see all nice and soft. I've got a little bit of extra on that side that I don't need. And I'm going to take this out of the way. Remember that people's hairlines are all different. It's not going to be exact. You really need to read the hair, to follow the hair, to watch what it's doing, and to see the reaction. So I've got this down, and honestly, it still feels like too much to me. So I'm going to subdivide this. I'm going to go once right down the middle. I'll try and keep my arm out of the way. Once down the middle. And then I'm going to make an even smaller section. We'll take this to the rest of the hair. And now I really like it. I feel like we've got a good little section there that's going to be a good start for this, where we can start to make her fringe. Again, exacting lines are not how you're going to get the best look. Following her natural wave pattern, that's really where it's at. So to do this, I'm going to use a dry cutting shear. This one's a great one. My good friends who gave me to this, thank you. And so I'm just going to keep this out of the way, take this section, and then I'm going to take an even smaller section. How small can we get? Right here in the middle. And then I'm gently going to take this side out of the way. Gently, don't take it all the way. I'm going to take that side out of the way. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to comb this section up. I'm going to go nice and tight to the scalp. Bringing that out to where we think it will have a nice fall on the fringe. And then I'm going to cut with the tapping motion straight up, and then we let that fall. Let's have a look at that. You can see it's giving nice softness in there. I'm going to take just a little bit more off. tight. Bring it out. Let's go a little shorter. Comb it forward. So that's starting to give me a nice, soft little guide there for our curtain fringe. I feel like we could even go a little more. Remember, it's hard to put it back. It's much easier to take more. And there we've got that nice little soft bit in the middle. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the opposite side. And we'll follow that guide. Really going to start to shape in that curtain fringe. Again, just to make sure it's nice and precise. Bringing it up. Let it go. And now we'll do the same thing with the opposite side. Bring it all the way to that center line. See how we're really starting to get that bounce, that almost in the eyes feeling of a curtain fringe. Now what I'm going to do is I want to really sort of skinny up right there in the middle. So I'm going to take an even more micro section right here, right in the very center. And I'm going to use a notching shear. It's like this blade is much thicker and chunker, so this is going to remove much more hair each time you cut, so be careful. What I don't want to do is thin the hair. I just want to piece it out a little bit and give that openness, like the curtain is coming apart, if you will. Holding that out, and then we're going to hit it with a 1, 2, and then a couple more times at the very ends, and that will give us just that little bit of control that we're looking for. And do a little more on this side. It's looking a little heavier. This is that little peekaboo, that little area. And now little by little, we can pick up the sections after, take them over, and this we're just gonna a couple times right at the ends. Giving that really kind of nice look there. Okay, and now I'm going to take the other side and blend that in. There you have it. It's really starting to take on a little bit of that curtain type aesthetic, very soft, not too angular, not too harsh, just really, really pretty. And now I'm going to build the fringe in from there. All right, now let's continue and let's blend in the sides, because obviously this is going to be too close, it will really narrow the face. So what we want to do is now give the blend on the sides. That's going to be my first section. And the movement to cut this is we're going to take the entire thing. We're going to hold it to the hairline, all the way up to that hairline. And then we're going to twist it to center. We're going to bring it down to where the fringe begins. And this is helping to compact that layer. And then we're going to cut down and through that section. So it's always sort of that measure 3 times and cut once. This is our axis cutting technique that gives you a beautiful face frame. So hold the whole section. Let that fringe fall from your grasp. Twist it all the way over and forward. You're going to get just a tiny bit. Hopefully you can see that, just a tiny bit of the guide in there. From that point, we're going to start where that fringe is, and we're going to cut, cut, cut in an upward direction. When you let it fall, you'll see it's working from that fringe, that it will push in either direction, but it's not falling so heavy and directly on her face there. Just gives you a nice, and that's, you know, kind of a nice soft opening, and that's what gives it that curtain fringe kind of appeal. Up and over. See if I can give you a different view of this. Up and over, bringing it down. See that very first indication of the length there? I'll move it right out of the way there. And then we're gonna cut from that point, and we're cutting up, 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 up into the air. Woo. Never gets old. It's so exciting to do that, to watch that hair just sort of magically fall where it should. All of this nice and neat. Laying it on top of the head. Didn't miss any hairs there. Looking for that guide. And then cutting away. And notice I'm in motion. It's not a stationary thing. You're cutting into motion with the hair. Beautifully that's falling. How soft. I like to say it looks expensive. We'll do the same thing on the opposite side. Now, one thing I like to do at the very end is I just want to soften these inner corners, much like we did in the very center, but just not quite as much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my notching shear again. Remember, it's the one with the bigger teeth. Arr, arr, arr. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it the opposite direction so that my thumb is on the bottom. And that's going to allow me to just sort of comb and rake. It's like a nice raking technique. I actually call it raking there. And so here we go. I'm going to start from the part, and I'm not going to start cutting until the way down. And then I'm going to lift, lift, lift up and away. It's just going to give me a nice little blonde blend. Okay, so now all we need to do is continue our layers throughout the back. What I find is that most women would like to leave this very strong and very healthy. And so to do this, we're just going to take a triangular section right from the back. Coming right here to the intersection between the ear and the ear. Next, I'm going to take, similar to the move we were doing earlier on the fringe, hand is flat against the head, 2 fingers, stand up. Those of you who know me, you know this one's a classic. Come up. Lift until you see the length fall, and then cut straight up. And then you're going to continue doing this with a traveling guide all the way around the head. And there we have it, little curtain fringe. Put a little volumizing spray in it to, this is our full dry volume blast, so you can see just how easily it takes on more of a swept aesthetic. And again, if you were to round brush this, so easily you could get a lot of body and bounce out of this. This is really about opening up the face. So there you have it, a curtain fringe with some nice soft layers that will grow out beautifully. I love this. Make sure you try this on all your clients as soon as you get back to the salons. Take care. I'm Michael Sean Corby for MSC TV. By the way, tell me, what do you think of my hat person? Should I wear hats? Talk to you soon. See you next time.